Warning, if you don't like spoilers, do not watch the video.
Hi, welcome to Some Film Snobs. I'm Sean Reinert.
I'm Matt Smith.
And I'm Jacob Ramos.
And this is our review of The Incredibles 2. Elastigirl, an incredible story, stars Holly Hunter reprising her role as Stretch Armstrong. The whole family is back for a hot 2 seconds. Craig T. Nelson is back as Bob, Michael Keaton's replacement for the animated Mr. Mom remake coming out in 2021. Elastigirl investigates Seizure Man to find out who's really behind all this weird brainwashing going on. It turns out to be it turns out to be what looks like Tina Fey's character from the hit DreamWorks movie, Megamind. Will Elastigirl, along with the Incredibles, be able to defeat evil once and for all? Of course not. It's a fucking sequel!
Okay, Sean, what did you think of Incredibles 2?
You?
I thought on its own it was good, but as a sequel to the first one, it kinda sucked.
Matt?
I'm the positive one here. I thought it was good as a sequel, really good as a standalone film as well.
I thought it was fine. It's like on the level of like Cars for me.
Yeah.
Cars 1, like as in fine, like Cars 1.
Okay.
Cars 2 is
Wow.
Oh, wow.
But
Wow.
Who wants to like start going in depth? Because
Uh,
I got a lot on this one. Actually, I think we should start with Matt because he's got the most positive shit.
yeah, plus I did see it today when
Yeah,
we're
you did
recording
see it
this.
today.
Okay, I didn't think that the family were like really underplayed in this film. I thought they had a good amount of screen time with Elastigirl. Like, it wasn't like, oh, here's Elastigirl, the movie, with the rest of the family in the background. It wasn't like that to me. I thought it was a decent balance between Elastigirl's storyline and Bob's storyline, taking care of the family. And I like the characters still. That's the good thing, is I like the characters. I didn't even hate the villain that much. It wasn't what I thought it was at first. Like, we'll get into it later. But I was a little tiny bit surprised, but also not surprised at the same time, if that makes any sense. And I thought that, we bring in the boy from the end of the first film, having him back in as sort of a part of the B plot was interesting to me. Made sense. And it was good that they didn't just go, remember this from a year ago when they didn't show anything from that? They just showed it as a flashback. No, it kind of just picks up right where the first film ended, which was nice.
Alright, Jacob, what are your thoughts on this?
I thought I'll start with like my strengths. My strengths, I thought, was a lot of the humor was incredibly good.
Yeah.
Especially with Jack and Violet and her like crush. All of that was hilarious, I thought.
I actually agree with that too.
The action scenes are like some of the most creative action sequences I've ever seen. Like the motorbike thing with the train, how she's like splitting in half.
Oh god, that was so
really
cool.
liked
That was so cool.
And also like the fight scene between Violet and the like teleporter girl.
Oh, that
I
was
really
great.
That was
liked
cool.
actually.
Why can't the Fantastic
I thought-
Four get a movie like this?
It's the best. Well, the first Incredibles is the best Fantastic Four movie ever made.
Yes. It's like how Galaxy Quest, the best Star Trek movie. I'm kidding. That's the second film in the actual Star Trek franchise.
I love Bob Odenkirk. I can't get enough of Bob Odenkirk.
Me too.
Since
I
Breaking Bad.
yeah, he's good in that, and I thought he was good in this movie too.
Yeah, he was good in it.
And I'm glad he wasn't a bad guy. That was kind of nice.
And now I'm gonna get into the stuff I don't like that much, which is like,
Go ahead.
I'll go a little more in depth later because I want to get to Sean, but like I have a big problem with the emotional stakes in the film.
Yeah.
And the choice of characters to pursue certain plot journeys, and also the villain very weak, very predictable, along with looking like Megamind crush lady.
Totally.
But like before I get in more in depth, I want to know Sean's thoughts.
I thought it was a competent movie. The animation has certainly changed over 15 years, and it looks great. After rewatching
Oh yeah,
the
I will
first
say
film,
this is real quickly though. We'll say about the animation. This is like the prettiest Pixar film since like Zootopia. I thought Zootopia was gorgeous.
Zootopia wasn't Pixar.
Oh, it wasn't Pixar.
No.
So-
I'm sorry. I
Either way.
have to correct you on that.
All right, it's fine. But I'm saying like Zootopia is a gorgeous animated film, and I thought this was like on the level of that.
Yeah, I did too.
It's
I
beautiful.
was
film.
amazed at some of the things.
I thought the plot was kind of weak compared to the first one. As you mentioned, Jake, the stakes weren't really high.
Not as high as they should have been,
Yeah, but
probably.
I don't know.
It
I would
wasn't
give
so
it the
low.
excuse, although I didn't really feel like this film was as smartly written compared to the first one. I'll probably go into stuff later, but it was again, on its own, it was a good movie, but as a sequel to The Incredibles, it wasn't that good.
I am gonna say though, when I saw the villain, you're comparing her to the woman, to the love and face character in Megamind. I'm thinking about Angelina Jolie from Hackers. Don't ask me why.
I've
Some-
never heard of that movie.
Yeah, the shitty one. Hack the planet, hack the planet.
Never heard of it.
It's like so inaccurate to Hackers. I'm sorry.
If it's shit, then I'm gonna have to watch it later.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah,
play
it's on
it for
Netflix,
this.
so
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Netflix.
That's the perfect fit.
it is. But the room's not on there. Oh wait, that's a National Treasure.
That shit belongs on National Geographic.
So I guess we'll start with the villain then. So like, what's your thoughts on the villain, Matt? So you can continue.
She was alright. I mean, like, there could have been a better villain, and for some reason, when I went into this movie, basically I thought Syndrome's assistant from the first film.
Ah,
I don't remember if she turned out to be a good guy or a bad guy. It's been a long time.
well, she turned out to be good.
Okay,
Well,
so
yeah,
that
she
ruins
was
my
good.
whole bullshit theory. But then again, it's been a while since I've seen the first film. I just remember the fact that Syndrome died, and that the Underminer came out from under the ground, and the Incredibles go and fight, and that's how the first film ended. I remembered that. So I remember the important stuff. For some reason, I thought that she was going to come back, the assistant to Syndrome, as a revenge plot. So I was always surprised when there wasn't that, but I do think the motives for her being a villain are a little weak. Yes.
very weak.
Incredibly weak.
Like, seriously, yes, it's because of the fact the heroes are banned that that the heroes didn't come to help because they can't reach their phones. They get arrested if they did that. So it's not because of heroes being dependent on heroes, it's that we made them illegal. If they weren't illegal, if it wasn't illegal to be a super, her father might be alive still. So it doesn't
Real
make
quick,
sense.
real quick,
Blames the
you
heroes
mentioned how
for whatever
superheroes are
reason.
illegal. Am I wrong about the timeline? It feels like it happened, like Elastigirl going back to being a hero happened rather quick.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
Like-
can agree.
I mean, the first film,
well, in the first film, I want to get into the first act of the first film, but in the first film, when after the whole wall thing, it says like 10 or 15 years have passed in between. Like when it cuts to him in the office, he's like,
yeah.
it's been
When
like
he's
15
depressed.
years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has.
So since that. Around.
Yeah, so it probably isn't even really that rather quick.
It just, I don't know why, maybe because I didn't rewatch the first film until afterwards, it just felt like it happened rather quick. I'm like, wait,
Well,
what?
Yeah, well, that's considering the fact that the first film, because of the fact this second film picks up right where the first film left off, it does seem a little weird that now she doesn't still want to be a hero, despite the fact that they did eventually stop the Underminer's drill. Although I was disappointed he didn't come back, unless there's an end credit scene I didn't see. But he just didn't come back.
I think it was just used as a setup, like for the rest of the film.
Yeah, I know that makes sense.
It's like an inciting incident type thing. Like
Yeah.
the Underminer is what's gonna start the story. Like it's
Yeah, no, that makes
Bob
sense.
Odenkirk sees it.
It pulled a basic serial kind of approach to it, where hey, let's leave off with a cliffhanger, and then you come back. Hey, we're back at that. You know,
Yeah, I like that. That was a good way to kind of do things.
it's a horrible way to explain it, but
Well, yeah, I guess. Now I'm just wondering, who did they get to play the kids? We'll discuss that
they
later.
were different
Is it?
actors.
I thought it was. the same.
Actually, that's a thing I want to bring up. Because I've seen the first film so many times as a kid, I kind of remember how they all sounded. And, you know, because everybody's older and that they got different actors for the children and all that, I did have to get used to it just a little bit.
I didn't notice it at all.
I
I'm
Neither
couldn't
did I.
notice it.
I'm surprised you guys are bringing this up because I didn't notice a difference at all.
I didn't either. I'm just thinking, did they? Because, you know, what happens if you get child actors 14 years later, they're going to sound, well, not going to sound like children anymore, you know? So that was my only thought.
I have very good memory when it comes to that kind of stuff in film, so if I see
Considering the
something
fact
and
that I
it
haven't
sounds
seen the
different to
movie
me,
as much
I have to
recently.
get used to it. What, Matt?
Like, you've probably seen the movie a lot more than I have recently, even though and I think you said you saw it after seeing the second film.
I had to rewatch it
probably-
because it has been at least 2 years.
You probably have noticed that. I haven't seen it for a while, so I didn't really think about that. It's just a thought I have in general, just because the idea that, yeah, it has been 14 years. There you go.
I wanna get in here. All right, I'm getting in depth now.
Yeah,
Since
go
we
ahead.
were left off on the villain. All right, the reason why the first and I'm gonna compare it because it's a sequel, so don't hate me. I
Go
don't
ahead.
care if it's
It's
its
fine.
own movie. It's a sequel. I'm comparing. The reason that Syndrome was the first villain. Actually, you know what? The better way to do it. First act. I'm gonna say what I told you, Sean, the other day. The first Incredibles, I think, has like one of the best act ones of like any film I've ever seen. Like when he gets the message from like the like info briefing message in his office or whatever, and he decides to pick up that phone and call. He's like, "It's Mr. Incredible. I'm in." By that moment hits, you understand everything about this man and like why he's making that decision.
You totally
from-
do.
Like, and like in this book called The Anatomy of Story by John Truby, he says that your main character needs to have a problem, and that problem needs to be ruining his life. This like what he wants, his drive should be causing tons of fucking problems.
You need something
So
to
like
drive your
in
character forward.
in the first 10-minute section where he was a hero and then he had the big accident and bullshit with the train and then superheroes go illegal.
Yeah, the guy who sued him because he wanted to die.
Yeah. You didn't save my life, you ruined my debt.
I would say after rewatching the first film, I noticed this shit more as an adult, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I didn't think about it as a
Shit's
kid.
dark as
I
hell.
It's like, wow.
Anyways, that happens, and then we skip to the future, and he is like, he hates his life, he hates his boss, he hates his job. He's trying to help people too. He's trying to help people for his fraud insurance company, and he's listening to police scanners, like lying to his wife.
Yeah.
Frickin' loses his job. Like that's shit I'm talking.
I remember
like,
that.
That's like,
Middle
you
aged
know
man's
what?
life falls
He
apart.
really badly wants to be a hero again. And there's not that in this film. Like, you don't feel emotional stakes. And like, when in the beginning they're bringing up the like, Elastigirl, you want her to do this thing because of her numbers and all that. And like, there's a scene where him and Elastigirl, they're in like bed at this motel and they're like talking about it. It's like even the writers were aware of how much Bob cared about it more than her. It was just like, why is this character doing this and that character doing that? Is it a gender thing? Like is it just gender swap for the sake of gender swapping?
honestly
but like,
had no idea how to answer that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
neither do I.
I'm not saying it is a bad thing, but like, it's just it felt odd, like that you're having this character do this and that character do that, when you as writers even seemed aware
Can I say something
that
real quick?
Robert cared about it more than her.
Yeah. When I watched this film, I noticed that Bob is more of a dick in this one than the first one. And I mean, Bob was always kind of a dick, but he wasn't like a dick, you know? Like, he's just a dick to everyone. He's fucking cruel in areas. And I'm like, that's not Bob.
Well, like, it was also like, what I really found inconsistent about it is like that, like, it even treats it as him taking care of his kids. It is treated as a good thing, which I do like. But like, in the past, you've built up and set up this character as like he kind of puts his own pride above that. Like, he literally lies to his wife about his job just so he can be a superhero. Like, he's leaving his wife alone all the time. And that's why, like, in the first one, like, then when he realizes his family's gone, he's like, realizes his mistake and they come together. And I also wanted to bring up Elastigirl. Like, in the beginning of this one, she mentions her indifference towards whether superheroes are illegal or not.
Yeah.
And in the first one, the only reason she did put on the costume was because to save Bob. And then in this one, she cared more about supers being legal again than Bob would. Yeah, it was like really odd for me.
Yeah, I could see where you're coming from on that. I think
Yeah,
there's another thing now that kind of threw me off was that, you know how in the first movie there's this huge family aspect to it within the writing and within the film itself.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, the families working together with all their differences, yeah. It's really not there in this film.
What do you mean?
I mean, the family fought together and stuff like that at the end of their first movie. I mean, they kind of did here in the second one, but it didn't feel like it. Like, it felt kind of forced. And I have no idea how to word this, but like...
That's actually odd, because I thought the family aspects were like one of the best strengths of it.
I thought they were worse in this film, and I normally wouldn't say that, but they were worse. Like, I guess it just has to do with expectation, because the first film set up that, oh, the family's gonna be fighting more. Cool. The family barely fights together in the second movie, so I guess it just had to do with expectation on my end.
It's because of the whole supers illegal thing, I
Yeah.
suppose. Like,
I didn't mind that so much.
Maybe
yeah,
I'll
I felt like
rewatch
I
it now
talked
and
a
see.
lot there, so...
But-
It's okay. It's a good thing, because they go into tangents
Honestly,
sometimes that
just-
don't have any resolution.
I don't really have too much more to say about this film, because I think I just find it rather forgettable. I mean, a lot of Pixar sequels have been very forgettable. I mean, I barely remember anything from Finding Dory or, you know...
Didn't even see it.
Ed
That's how
O'Neill
much I
is an
care.
octopus.
I just didn't... I saw it in theaters with somebody, I forget who. I was just there, because why not? And I just didn't fucking care. And I was just like...
It had two members
Why
from
was this
Modern
needed?
Family in it.
And it all started, I mean, I'm a huge Pixar fan, actually. And this whole downhill thing started with Cars 2. Cars 2 was a shit film. I don't care what anybody says. And then,
I'm trying to think, it's like the universal opinion on Cars 2.
yeah, but you know, you have that one fanboy out there.
Yep, you're right.
Fanboy, he's 6 years old.
Yep,
Or he's a toy channel.
literal
Two
fanboy.
But you know, even I think some of the more original Pixar movies, like I don't remember anything from The Good Dinosaur or Brave. Like I remember something from Brave, but not
see
enough. Monsters University too. Why was that needed?
Because we need Billy Crystal as a college student.
We needed Mike Wazowski.
Let's just agree. Pixar doesn't have the greatest track record with sequels.
Just as of lately, I think, because they were a giant.
Well, like, they never really did put out a lot of sequels, because I think it was usually always about, like, we have this great idea of the story, we have this idea of this great character, and the theme you want to push to kids, but they don't know where to follow up with it. Like, if they wanted to make a sequel.
The only, I think, sequel around that time before Cars 2 was Toy Story 2.
And 3.
And 3, right. Yeah, that's right. Cars 2 came after 3.
2 good sequels. They had a decent track record when it came to sequels. Then Cars 2 just fucked that right up.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Like, I think they usually are focusing more on making a in-depth idea, not how can we continue this.
I mean, I really just don't have much more to say. I mean, I'm gonna forget about it. I know I'm gonna forget about it.
Yeah.
Not to sound too negative, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's because I wasn't as excited as everybody else was for an Incredibles sequel.
Like, honestly, when I I didn't read any reviews before I saw it. So, like, when I was looking afterwards, I was just like, is this like a Phantom Menace situation?
Yeah,
like, because like,
and then they slowly realize,
well, like, I'm sure it's not as well. Like, even Phantom Menace, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's like a fine, like, mediocre movie, but I don't think it's as bad as people say. But like, I feel like this might be the same type of thing, because like, our age group was like how old we are, like how old we were 14 years ago.
Yeah,
that was prime. That was like prime marketing for this. For
like,
6 when that came out.
So that's why I'm saying.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be that type of thinking, because like regardless if you agree with anything that mainly I've said, honestly, and Sean too, because like, regardless if you agree or not, do you really think you're gonna remember this movie or rewatch it as much as you did the first one? I don't think so.
The only thing I'm gonna remember from this film is the fucking seizure I had from it.
Oh yeah, that part. All those parts. Anyway, yeah, I think I'll remember
Matt,
it.
No, you know what my reaction was? You know that clip from the Simpsons episode where they go to Japan and they see that one show and they all have a seizure on the floor? That was literally me. I literally felt like I was gonna have that situation.
Why? I know exactly the one fight scene you're talking about too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, whoa. I hope there's no kid in the audience that has those problems.
Lucky for me if there was such problem.
Is that AMC Theaters gonna have a warning for this movie too, like they did with Star Wars?
Yes.
Your child might have a fucking
this
seizure.
movie may cause seizures.
I read online that
Take off your 3D glasses.
No, I read online that people were complaining about it, and that they're gonna put now a warning before the film starts.
See, I didn't even know about like going in about that, so you caught me by surprise.
Yeah, me too.
Felt like I was getting hypnotized, but not like in a good way. Like,
yeah, I don't have much else to say about the movie. I'm probably gonna buy it anyway.
I really don't have much else to say either. I think it was just a mediocre movie.
I'm just gonna say like it felt like the stakes of the, like, not even physically were high. Like, okay, they're mind controlled. I feel like for me the biggest success you can have in terms of stakes with an audience is making me believe that the main character is about to die.
Yeah.
Like, that is one of the biggest strengths of your stakes that you can have with me, that I will believe, like, wow, holy shit.
This movie felt like it had average Marvel syndrome. Like Thor to Dark World syndrome.
I will bring up slightly, like, I thought, like, one of the small things from the first Incredibles is how it, like, in a minor way, it like pokes fun at superhero tropes.
Yeah.
And I thought it by this time, it's been 14 years and we've had a whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. I thought that they would make more jokes poking fun at superheroes, at superhero tropes.
You know what, now that you bring that up, I honestly thought there would have been more too.
Because, like, in the first one, you have the capes thing, and then you have famously Oh, you sly dog, you got me monologuing.
I
Like,
love that.
Yeah.
scene.
It was like I thought there'd be more of that type of stuff.
I
'cause it's been
swear that
14
it's
years
teaching
since so
me,
many
like, if I
superhero
write a
films.
villain for a superhero movie, they're not gonna have a monologue.
Hey,
Yeah. That would be
I,
pretty.
I don't
So-
know, it's something stupid, I thought. Anyway,
Final thoughts.
it's fine.
it was alright. I mean, again, I'm just gonna say this one more time. As on its own, it's fine, but as a sequel, it sucks.
I liked it. It was good. So yeah, I guess I'm a thumbs up, and you two are just in the middle.
Thumb sideways.
Yes, thumb sideways.
Sideways thumb.
Two
So,
thumbs sideways, Siskel and Ebert style.
Again, the
Oh,
two
wait.
sideways thumbs and one thumbs up.
Oh yeah, so
oh wow, it sounds like the solo review.
I guess I'll end this off. Again, this has been Some Film Snobs. I'm Sean Reinert.
I'm Jacob Ramos.
And I'm the quietest member, Matt Smith.
Quiet
Oh,
guy that likes it.
yeah, the only one.
Toodaloo.